Alright, I'm brewing on the big system today. This is a hot liquor tank. It's pretty hot in there. It's getting up to do my mash out. 3600 watt element. Little grey pump running that. So it's a bit hard this to see. That's coming out of the mash, out of the hot liquor tank. Comes back up in this tap here. The flow into this T paste, which then allows me to push it back over the top of the element. Temperature probe there, so that's to just recirc through there, and then it allows me to push it out here to sparge. This goes into the mash tun. At the moment that's recircling, so that's the next part of this tap arrangement, so that allows the sparge to go there. I haven't changed this because everything's been a bit, I've changed a few things. So I used to have the Herms coil inside here. I've changed a few things now. So this is just running, let me see. So out of the bottom of my mash tun, through this pump, through the Herms kettle, inside there, comes out here. This then allows me to push it back down here and out for recirculation, and that's my recirc temperature probe there. It also allows me to push it from the mash tun out this one, which goes to the boil kettle. So that's how that works. Got mash going on in here. See the recirc. Nice slow drizzle in there. 65, which is what I want. And then there's usually the boil kettle there. Come up here to my control panel. Now, yet again, unfinished, like everything, because I never have the time. So that's just emergency stop. That turns the thing on and off. Hot liquor tank. Got auto or on. Now on is just straight on. Auto lets the PID control it. Boil, that's actually just got the light plugged in at the moment. Right there. That just turns the boil element on and off. Pump 1, pump 2, and then my Herms, which I've just added in not long ago, which is this PID. This just allows me to turn the Herms on and off. So you can see there, it's just, I know this runs a little bit warm. I probably could do a reset, because I've changed a few things, but it always runs a little bit warm, so I just leave it. I know if I want it on 65 degrees, roundabout I'll leave it at 64.2. And then up here we've got the volt and amp meter, drawing 4,000 watts at the moment, 242 volts running, 16.7 amps. I can run that up to 40 amps. Got 40 amps coming in. Shows the kilowatt hours usage since the last reset, and that's been in 276 hours of power use. That only counts the minutes when there's power running through the CT. So that there is the heatsink, which is not very warm, for the two relays. 40 amps coming in from my switchboard, and that's the control, because I like to have the STC here that controls my fridge on all the time. So that's that. I could quickly kill that for a second and just open it up and have a quick look. It's a little bit of a mess, but it used to be neat. But I've added some things in. You can see all the switches there wired up. That relay there is the changes between auto and just on all the time. I had to do that because the PID only puts out low voltage to the main relay over there. So all I do is just got a low voltage there. When I switch my hot liquor tank to on. That fires up that, which activates the relay and activates the solid state relay for the hot liquor tank. The other solid state relay runs off this PID for that. Then that relay there is for the boil kettle. Now they're both rated 32 amps each channel, and I'm running them in dual, so it runs through both channels. And then we've got all the outputs over there, and an output up there because I had no room for my Herms output, and then the two temperature probe inputs there. And then that is the CT that measures only on the 40 amps in, that measures the current. And that is how that works. Now let's turn it all back on. That'll all fire back up pretty quickly. Amps. .7 amps now running because the Herms is on. That's right. Yeah. Back down to 16 now. Cool. See there, my mash tun's getting up to there. That's staying where it's supposed to be. So that's a bit of a brief on my system. I'll come back and talk about the boil soon. The boil's a boil. Fancy with the boil. Have a bit of a stir with this mash while I've got the camera running. See there, I run about 3.9 litres the kilo, I think. 3.2 maybe. Run a pretty thin mash because that just, I found, helps with the blocking. And I get about 82% efficiency out of this system. Cheers, so yeah, just had a bit of a chat about the system. The new home Brewmeister, not getting anything done on that this week. Been flat out with work. My element's not ready yet, and the Browdino hasn't come yet, so I've just put that on the back burner. So I thought I'd do a brew on the big system. Got a little bit of time up my sleeve today, and I need beer. So hopefully next week, for Easter weekend, I will have the Browdino, and I will have the element, which they said is going to be ready Wednesday, so hopefully I can have that by Thursday, and we'll get that thing kicking. So yeah, pretty keen to get the home Brewmeister hooked up and running. Very keen. Anyway, cheers. We'll come back at the boil, go through that. We'll have the hop spider in there. We'll have the plate chiller hooked up and everything ready to go. So 60 minutes is up. See there. Still sitting at 65. Actually, a bit more because I probably a couple of minutes ago I turned the temperature up to 76 for mash out. But what I do for mash out, so right here, so we've got the mash in there. Now for mash out, I need 11.6 litres. So you see over here, on here, I've got this little slidey thing, so that's 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, down to that one, down to that, gives me 11 litres. All I do is come over here, switch those two taps around, and you can see mash out water's going in, clean. So let that go down to 11 litre mark, and I always stir. So that water's at 94 in. There you can see 94 degrees. So, and also this, adding this water helps bring the ring up underneath the sparging. And it brings the ring underneath the water for sparging. Oh, a bit of steam there. So we got over here. Still got that down there. Temperature in here should be rising slowly. Try and get to mash out as quick as I can. That's pretty much boiling. But by the time it gets through the temperature, well, actually we can see it's coming in at 94. A couple of litres because that's what is coming into the mash tun at 94.9, because that's that sensor there. Nearly got 11 meters. That's it, 11 meters. So I'll switch that back over to just recirculating back there. This brings recirculation back on. You'll see the little rings start to appear with the water start to come up. Or the wort, because that's recirc. Turn my recirc up a little bit. There we go. Now, sparge water. So you can see there, we're down to there. All I do now is add more cold water. That's plumbed straight in, that little port over there. I just add water in there. So that's recirculating. See the temperature start coming down. And I'll add water in there until it's around about 75 degrees. So I'm going to turn this down again. But it doesn't matter. Mash out's going to go for 10 minutes, so I'll turn that off for a second. Mash out's going to go for 10 minutes, so if I overshoot, it can still heat up. See the temperature coming down on there. That's the recirculation. It goes back, so it pumps out of the HLT back into the HLT, straight over the top of the element, and so just keeps the water recirculating. So 76.5, mash out, setting it down to 77, done pretty well there. 76, 4, a little bit too far. A little bit too far. You can see that there. It's saying 73.4, which is a bit under mash out. And that's at 70, so I've munged something up there, but anyway, it'll rise when it gets to 75.6. That's my mash out, and then I'll let it sit there for 10 minutes. I find if I don't add the water, the rise time's about 15 minutes. Adding that water, that'll come up at 6 degrees pretty quickly. 74 now, it was on 72 before, so even with a stir, you can see that there, it's rising very quickly. There we go, we got 74.1. So by the time my mash out's finished, my sparge water will be up to temp. So you see the boil pot here. Element pickup tube. We do have a sight glass in the front. All the calibration lines are pretty much washed off that, but I'll have to recalibrate it. That's where my wort comes in. See it's hooked up there. Over here to the top there. You'll see how that moves soon. And then that'll go out to the chiller. Alright, so it's been 3 minutes since I added the mash out water. We're at 75. That'll still slowly raise up. This was reading 78 before, so 75.5. Sparge water's up there where it's supposed to be. You can see the little kettle element drawing 8.6 amps. And that little kettle does an amazing job. I'll see if I can. See, there's just, this is 3 meters of copper. It just sits just above the element, so I've cut that so it doesn't actually touch the element. That was just a test. I'm going to put it in a stainless thing, but I'm in no hurry because that just works so well. There we go, so sparge time. That's up, so that's now allowing water to come into here. we put the output on, which is being wort from here. You can see it creeping around there. And it's going to come in and go into my kettle. Taps off. Now, I usually let that get down a bit. You can see the nice trickle. Probably going a little bit quick. Just back it off a little bit more. Sparge usually takes about 45 minutes. So when that gets down towards the grain bed a little more, I will use this to adjust some flow into there, as well as recircling through there at the same time, which then keeps a constant water temperature. So we're down to the grain bed, sort of. I don't like to have that too much more exposed than that. So what I'm going to do now is slowly start introducing some sparge water. So it's coming in there. And start to just shut down a bit. Too far. Push that down so it's just be out a bit quick. You can see it's filled up too much. So I'll throttle it back a little bit. Wood coming out over here. Nice colour. So that'll just continue now until my 15.6 litres I think of sparge water get through there. So it's a bit of a balancing act of getting the flow rates right on each unit, but that's where I like to sort of keep it. You can see there's a little bit of sparge water just bubbling out there. I'll just back this up again because I sped it up a little bit. But this process takes around about 45 minutes. And this is what happens when you walk away for 5 minutes to go get a beer. You realise that it's not flowing quite right, but that's still acceptable for me. Slowed that down a little bit. It was going a bit quick. See, it's up on the sight page now. I might suffer a little bit in efficiency because I'm pulling it off too quick, but there's still plenty of colour there. So what we're down to, still got about halfway through sparge, so we've still got about 7 litres to go. And I've now got a hot hog. So the last of the sparge water is just trickling through the end of the grain bed. Getting close to my volume. I know that right in that there is about 35 litres. I want 34.7, so as long as I get to about here somewhere, I'll be happy. Getting up to nearly 30 litres now. See the colours dying right off. So we're below the grain bed level now. See, there's my false bottom. So it'll be just taking what's left out of the false bottom. See, I'm getting right up to exactly where I want to be. If it just nicks the top of there, which is where it usually gets to, I know I've got 35 litres. Very close to going. I'm here to be sucker bad. All this grain, my chooks love it. So I'll get that soon. They'll warm their bellies up. That's nice. There she goes. And that's it, sparge is done. I've got exactly where I want it to be. Pump off. Alright, so I had a bit of a spill. That's all good. So now I'm recircling my boil wort. I do this for two reasons. It just helps get up to the boil a bit quicker. Not that I really need to worry about that. It's also just going to whirlpool, but it's also going to give me a correct reading when I take a reading soon. Let it go up to the boil first, make sure it's all mixed in, and then it also sanitises the pump when I use the chiller. Getting a good boil going there. Hot slider. There she goes. Push this bag in a bit. I'm not real keen on this hot splitter. I only built it. This is the second time I've used it. And I think I'm going to get one of those Keg King stainless ones for the Brewmaster. Hold this.
Okay.
Let's get some. You got hot splitter there? $50-minute addition. 15 grams of Simcoe. So it's in a hot splitter. Sitting up on top of
This stuff tastes good.
This idiot's eating the grain. Righto, boil's done. We've done a whirlpool. Hot splitter. Chiller's set up, so I pump my chiller, so I gave that pump a run towards the end of the boil as well. And that's chiller's been baking in the oven today, 200 degrees for about an hour. That's also been cleaned out and everything before that. So, pump on. Chill on. Mainly for 25-ish. So that's the pump on flat out. See if we get the real good aeration there. It's pretty much about 27. I'll just creep that down a little bit. Creep that back down, just creep it to 30 now. Creep it down a little bit more. Groundwater's still a little bit warm around here because we sitting at 35 degrees, 36 degrees for the last couple of days. So that's pretty warm. About 25, let's get a decoration. Kill a deer. Here's my chilled water. Almost done. I'll clean that up now. All good. Alright, so I had a fuck up. I forgot I actually adjusted my boil kettle to have a 4 or 5 litre dead space because I was pulling too much hop out, and because now I'm using a hop splitter, I set it back up to normal and I pulled out the extra. I was going for 25 litres. 25 there, 25, 26, 27, say 27 and a half. So some nice hot break in there. 27 and a half litres at 1052 I was supposed to have. You can't really see that because of the bubbles, but to me, I can see the 1050. I reckon it's a 1050 or 1051. I'll do a refrac. There we go, refrac. Which was there. Where is it? So the refrac has given me, it's a bit hard to focus with this. Refrac's given us 1050, 1051. So there we go, brew day on the big system. Like I said, I stuffed up because I didn't take out the 4 litre dead space. As you can see, my dead space in there is only about probably a litre or 2, maybe, yeah, probably about a litre, a bit over a litre. And because of that, the setting that I had in there was for 5 litres dead space, so I used to pick up a lot higher. Before I had the hop spider, I used to pick up a lot higher on the edge of the pot, so I didn't get all the hop and tube and shit. Where now, using a hop spider, I can pick up a lot more, so I'll adjust that back down to 1.5 litres, 2 litres, which will get me closer to my 25 litres instead of getting 27.5. Which to me, I used to have it set for 2 litres, I've now got it set for 4.5 or 5, so that's 2.5 litres, 3 litres, which is what I'm over. And my points are 1 point within 1 point, so happy days. Time to have a bit of a clean up now, pitch some yeast, sitting at 25 degrees. I'll pitch my dry yeast. I don't use starters at the moment because I don't have enough time, but I've got all the gear for it. So I'll pitch my dry yeast at 25 degrees, stick it straight in the fridge, get it down to 18 ASAP. Cheers.